Let's get to the calls, man. Let's get to the calls. Let's go to Graham in Boston, Massachusetts. You're live with Stephen A. What's up, Graham? How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Stephen A?
Talk to me, my man. Talk to me.
Let's talk Russell Westbrook. I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan.
Yo,
I
brother,
know it ain't football.
Yo, brother, you know you don't have all day, right? Go ahead and make your point. Go ahead.
My fault. How you feel about Russell Westbrook coming into the season?
I feel very good about him. I think he's on the right team. I thought he did a hell of a job with the Los Angeles Clippers. Obviously, his time with the Lakers wasn't that great. His time with Houston certainly was not that great. But I think that Russell Westbrook is the perfect fit for the Clippers because he's an energizer bunny. He's that guy that brings, with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George periodically getting hurt, or in Kawhi Leonard's case, periodically being hurt. You need somebody like a Russell Westbrook being that spark plug. I love him with the Los Angeles Clippers, and I love the fact that they made it a priority to re-sign him.
I love to hear that because you were not a fan when he was on the Lakers. You were kind of disrespectful towards him.
That's not true. I wasn't disrespectful. I was factual. You had people in the stands. Yes, I was. I didn't call him Westbrook.
All right, I got you.
I didn't call him Westbrook or anything like that. I said, Joe, he wasn't shooting the ball well. Yo, he's not the ideal point guard. Yo, you got LeBron James there. The ball needs to be in his hands, especially when he's struggling shooting the basketball from the perimeter. I understand that you got a lot of sensitive cats out here, but what I would say to you, Graham, is you have to assist people like me and others and stop falling for that okie doke and getting caught up in all of that sensitive nonsense. Now, if you're attacking somebody personally, there ain't no room for that. And I get that. No. But we're talking about the game of basketball. So let's talk about a player that you may not like or that you don't think is good. Do you talk about him like he can ball? Do you talk about him like he can play, or do you tell the truth?
I tell the truth, but there's always a but. Russell Westbrook was one of 4 players in the league putting up 18, 7, and 7.
Stop right there. Stop right there.
Come on.
Stop right there. You have to measure them to the standard they're coming from. What I'm trying to say to you, let me finish. What I'm trying to say to you is that if you're averaging 10 or 12 points a game and that's what you do, that's what you do. But when you are one of arguably the most athletic point guard in the history of basketball, who is a perennial all-star, who is an absolute surefire first ballot future Hall of Famer, that comes with expectations. And so when you arrive, we're looking at you and we're saying these are the expectations. And if you don't live up to those expectations, we have an obligation to call it. That doesn't mean we're disrespecting you. We're saying you used to be this and now you're not. And there's an adjustment that has to be made. And you know where the proof is, Graham? In the dollars.
Where is it?
He was making $47 million last year. What's he making now?
Lakers shouldn't have brought him in for 47 million.
No. That's not what
and
I
what
asked
he's
you.
making is what he's making.
Do you want to answer my question, or do you want to doubt it?
Mil.
8
mil or 3 mil.
8.
There it is, 8 mil.
There you go. Have a nice day.
And he's
Yano, you're live with Stephen A. What's going on? Yano, how are you doing?
I'm good, Stephen A. How are you?
Talk to me. What's up?
So, Rodney Harrison last night, I don't know if you caught his comments about Zach Wilson, but he called them garbage. Okay, so he called him garbage. He was interviewing Chris Jones of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Chris Jones said that Zach Wilson was a special player, and Rodney Harrison thought that was not the correct call. So He said that Zach Wilson was garbage, and he's getting a lot of flack for it on Twitter today. A lot of people are saying that Rodney Harrison should be ashamed of himself. I highly suggest you check out his comments, but I just want to let you know, I don't think it's any different from what you, Shannon, Skip, and all those guys do on a daily basis by calling a guy garbage. Mm-hmm. Because when it came to you and Kwame Brown and Jamarcus Russell, you were very open to calling them what they really are. So I just wanted your opinion on the backlash that Rodney Harrison is receiving from the public today.
Well, first of all, here's what I would tell you. Rodney Harrison is a friend. I've known him for years. I think he does an exceptional job on NBC Sports, and they're lucky to have him because I wish I had him on First Take. I'll tell you that right now. Having said all of that, I would tell you that he shouldn't be receiving that kind of backlash. I would also tell you that people wouldn't be giving him that kind of backlash if Zach Wilson had played the way he had been playing prior to last night. Now, last night wasn't the greatest night for Rodney Harrison because Zach Wilson actually went out there and played some decent football, made some really good throws, came back from a 17-0 deficit, tied at 2020, outscored them 20-6 pretty much after the first quarter. He played well, and he played in a fashion we hadn't seen him capable of playing. The only thing that I would say to you is that you can't just look at the people and the things that we say. You have to look at the platform in which it is said. When I said what I said about Kwame Brown, which, by the way, I regret because I didn't know it would be a meme 15 freaking years later, by the way. But I said it in a studio on SportsCenter.
Right.
I talk on First Take. Shannon Sharp now talks on First Take. If I were calling a game, if I was doing the pre-game show, then I would harness my comments a little bit because the environment that you're in plays a role and it plays a factor. The things that you can do in a studio, the things that you can do on a cable morning show is entirely different than what you would do on location, on the field, or in a studio on a Sunday night for a network television programming. People who are in the business understand that. And so that's what I would tell you. There's a time and place for everything. If you watch my demeanor, you'll see me on First Take. That's different than what I might be on SportsCenter. It's a little bit different than what I might be when I was used to be on Outside the Lines or when I was on Sports Reporters on a Sunday morning. It's different than me on First Take compared to what you'll see me if I'm on a Saturday morning with, Michael Smerconish for CNN like I was a couple of weeks ago, or when I was on Mark Levin's show on Life, Liberty, and Levin last Sunday night, or when I was on Hannity a couple of weeks ago, or when I'm on MSNBC a month ago. The environment that you're in as a commentator, pundit, reporter, insider, etc., it's a little bit different because the tenor of the show is different. And that's what I think, that if there was a mistake that Rodney Harrison made, it was saying that on that platform, in that moment. That's what I would say to you, but nothing else.
Good point. Thank you, Stephen A. I appreciate that.
All right.
But
man.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead real quick. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I agree. I think that's a great point by you. The environment matters, but for people to say that NBC should be ashamed of themselves.
No, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They're totally wrong. They're totally wrong. But they just want attention. They just want attention. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Ronnie, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Ronnie? How are you?
Hey, man, Stephen A., I got a question for you regarding my Los Angeles Chargers, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty fed up.
Yeah, you should be. You should be.
Oh, my God.
You should be,
All
man.
right, so here's my thing.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. Brandon Staley, bum. Doesn't know what he's doing. Situational awareness is zero, if not negative. And I feel like my question to you comes from a couple years ago when they had Anthony Lynn in the building. They just won a playoff game like the year before with Phillip Rivers in the end of his career. They got Herbert coming in. You got to think that an offensive coach is able to develop a young quarterback in a way different than a guy like Staley can. Mm-hmm. My question is, if they did not fire Lynn and bring in Staley, would the Chargers have had a better chance of competing in the playoffs than they do now? Like a better chance?
I'm not sure about that because I don't think Anthony Lynn did a great job. I'm hoping he gets another opportunity, but I don't think he did the greatest job. That's number one. Number two, personally speaking, I think the person that made the biggest mistake was Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton should have waited. He should have stayed at Fox, and he should have waited until the Brandon Staley firing took place so he could have gotten the Chargers job, because I think he would have been perfect to be the guy coaching Justin Herbert. Look at Russell Wilson. I know the Broncos are stinking up the joint before they beat the hapless Chicago Bears yesterday. I get that. The flip side to it, however, is look at Russell Wilson and how he's been playing. He's got 9 touchdowns. He's second in the league in touchdown passes with 9. He's only got 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions. And when you look at Brandon Staley, I'm just looking at this. First of all, the 27-point lead he blew to the Jaguars in the playoffs last year. How about that? How about week 18 of last season when it's a meaningless game and you choose to play your starters and Mike Williams ends up getting hurt and having to miss the playoff game against Jacksonville? How about that one? 2023 season, this week, week 3 versus Minnesota. Went for a 4th and 1 on his own 24-yard line. Damn near blew the damn game, but the defense came to his rescue and rescued him. And then, of course, we've got the situation with the Raiders. Brandon Staley has made an abundance of errors. As far as I'm concerned, he shouldn't be the head coach of the squad. He's lucky that he is. I think that they should have a better coach. I think he's in over his head. He's just not ready, and he's being given a level of latitude that most coaches would not be given. That's my personal opinion about him.
Exactly, Stephen A. That's a great point, but I would counter that with we're giving Staley all these opportunities for second chances. You mentioned all those things that he has completely messed up in his tenure, and it's a long list, and you can keep going with that too.
That's right.
My problem with this is I feel like they were completely unfair with how they treated Anthony Lynn versus how they treated Brandon Staley.
That's fair.
I think it is
that's fair, but what I'm saying to you,
charges like it's a stain on the NFL.
Well, no,
I think Anthony Lynn deserves another chance.
You're going too far. Like, it's not. Listen, at the end of the day, look at what Houston did. They fired back-to-back black coaches after 1 year. Now they hired a third one, D'Amico Ryans, who looks like a star. C.J. Stroud looks like a star. We get all of that. We understand it. We understand what happened to Anthony Lynn. In comparison to Brandon Staley was unfair. But the fact of the matter is you had a lot of people who felt like Anthony Lynn wasn't the right guy for the job, and you're looking at Justin Herbert, and you want to make sure to maximize his potential to the best of your ability. So that was the situation right there. I think you're going too far with that, but I hear what you're saying because I'm not a fan of the job he's done. I got to go. I appreciate the call. Thank you. Josh, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Josh? Talk to me.
Hey, man, I want to talk about them Steelers, man, and Matt Canada. What's your opinion on that?
He's got to go. He's got to go. He's a disaster. Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, did a 29th team in total offense, 25th in scoring offense. And by the way, this interesting stat, I said this on First Take on ESPN this morning, all right? Canada became the offensive coordinator in 2021, right? Do you know that since 2021, the Pittsburgh Steelers have 0 400-yard offensive games? Every other team in the National Football League since that period has had at least 4 400-yard offensive games. The Steelers are the only team in the NFL who has not had one. Mike Tomlin's got to get rid of Matt Canada. It's just that simple. Matt Canada's got to go. He's got to go.
He does.
I don't wish unemployment. I want people to get their checks. I want everybody to get paid. I don't want people to be having the inability to feed their family. I don't want that. But when you can't get the job done, you got to get somebody who can. He's got to go.
Exactly.
He's got to go. Appreciate the call.
I feel like a lot of the blame gets put on Kenny Pickett, but you can't expect the quarterback to do great things in that system.
But that's true. I'm going to be a little patient with him, but I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett either, especially when I see C.J. Stroud out playing him the way he looks like a star in the making. Kenny Pickett don't look like that.
Yeah, he balled out yesterday.
That's right. Appreciate the call, man. Thank you. Juan in Harrisburg, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Juan? How are you?
Oh, my God. Stephen A. Smith?
Yes, this is me. Talk to me, baby. How you doing?
Stephen A. Smith. How you doing, boss?
I'm all right. You're live on the air. Go ahead, brother.
I just wanted to get on the phone and let you know that your book, Straight Shooter.
Okay.
It definitely deserves the title to be a number one seller.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead again.
I said it definitely deserves the right for the title as a number one seller, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I apologize if I sound a little all over the place, but I'm shocked to speak to you. Like, I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you, man.
I actually called because, like I said, I appreciate your book. You're definitely a motivation for me, sir. You help me out in more ways than you don't even know. With fatherhood, manhood, understanding sports. I just wanted to take the time to let you know as a fan, I appreciate everything you do, boss.
Thank you, man. Much love, man.
Everything.
Much love and appreciation, man. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. It really means a lot to me. Sincerely. Thank you so much, Juan. Take care of yourself, bro. And call anytime. Trey in Amarillo, Texas. You're live. What's going on, Trey? How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How about you, man?
I'm all right, man. Talk to me, bro.
All right, man. So I'm an MJ fan through and through, you know. But if LeBron wins the ring this year, let's just say he does, would you call him to go in year 21?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I wouldn't. I have LeBron James. I have LeBron James as the second best player of all time.
I respect that, me too, but
I have number
man,
2
come
of all
on.
time. 6 NBA Finals losses, a choke job against Dallas in the finals in 2011. Ever since then, he's been pretty close to flawless. He's been phenomenal. But two moments I hold again. I don't hold the first finals loss to San Antonio against him. I don't hold the second finals loss against San Antonio against him because D Wade was hurt. I certainly don't hold the loss to Golden State when they had Kevin Durant with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry against him. But there are two moments that I hold against LeBron James. One was in the finals against Dallas where, I mean, he was like me throwing on a damn Major League Baseball I mean, it was a choke job. It's just that simple. He didn't. There was no way around it. The other one was when he beats Boston in a Game 7, and he's exuberant and excited, and then they ask him about going up against KD and Golden State, and he's like, oh, man, I ain't want to think about that right now. I don't even want to bring that kind of stress on my life. I just want to enjoy this moment. It was like a concession speech before the finals even started. Now, in fairness to him, that Game 1 was when he went out and dropped 51. Okay? Dropped 51 against them, and J.R. Smith forgot the damn score. Okay? But the point is that, again, these are moments. Jordan would never do that. He conceding a damn thing. And there's a growth period that LeBron had to go through. Remember, the 3 moments, I should say the 3 moments out against him. How about the All-Star game, the exhibition, 2012? He's got the ball. Right. Kobe's guarding him. It's an exhibition game. It's All-Star. He could take Kobe one-on-one, and he turns the ball over because he's trying to throw it to Carmelo Anthony in the corner. And you saw Melo, D-Wade, and Kobe all roll up on him like, what you doing? What you doing? What you pass the ball for? Because they knew that psychologically, as phenomenal and great as he was, his impediment was his psyche, because he didn't have the confidence and the killer instinct inside of himself to embrace greatness the way he does now. What I'm saying to you is that D-Wade being a big brother to him, having to sit by his side for every damn press conference, okay, when his first year in Miami, Pat Riley and D-Wade collaborating to show him the way of what it takes to be a champion. You had all of that going on, okay, along with those moments that I articulated for you. Jordan didn't have those luxuries.
Right.
And Jordan found a way anyway. That's the difference, and that is why I have Jordan number 1 and LeBron number 2. Period.
Right. Okay, man. I have to agree with that.
All right.
I'm gonna start doing that. But anyways, man, I love you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
You're the GOAT.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you. Call anytime, Trey. All the best to you.